Nicole and Briana are lined up on the grid. It's lights out, and away we go on this week's grid walk.
Sudden outfit change. By outfit change, I mean by this lovely post-it on my forehead. It is time for us to do our picks and predictions for Baku this weekend. We are doing basically a season-long competition between Briana and I, where we pick the winner of each race, P4, P7, P10, and the highest scoring team of the remaining, basically like the bottom of the standings. And we'll go through each of these. And then we also have special sprint picks for this week. But currently, Briana is in the lead of our our half season competition, because at silly season we will be seeing who is in the lead, and whoever is losing has to record a podcast segment from a peloton, and whoever is losing in points for picks throughout the season has to basically be doing something embarrassing. So right now, if you are not a cool cat watching on YouTube, I have a post-it on my forehead that says Briana is better at picks than me. And again, last race she got one right, and that's all I'm going to say. And now I'm here.
I predicted that Yugi was going to get P10, and that was 3 additional points. Really, I'm ahead right now because I've gotten lucky that I got P10 right twice. This is luck when you get P10 right.
Right. And that's fine.
But I like winning.
Right. We all love winning, and I hate losing. And this post-it is not the most ridiculous part of my outfit. So
that is a tease to go over to YouTube if I have ever heard one, because I think I'm in just as ridiculous of an outfit.
We're really not addressing these shirts that we're wearing, and that's enough for me.
Don't say anything. Nope. We're going to do our normal Grand Prix Sunday predictions first, and then we'll do the special sprint ones, even though that's out of order for the schedule, but we're just having fun here. So, Nicole, in the most shocking pick of the weekend, who'd you pick at P1?
No one sees it coming at all, because it's not like it's happened ever. I picked Max Verstappen.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yep. One of these weeks we'll pick someone else, but not yet. Not yet.
One day. Okay, so for next we pick P4, so that's just missing the podium. Who do you have?
All right. I went with Fernando because I don't think there's going to be an Aston Martin on the podium this week. And that's just because I don't think he can continue to be on the podium every week. Something's going to happen at some point. So, P4, just missing the podium, Fernando Alonso. What about you?
All right, that's cool. We can manifest that. Big disclaimer I wanted to put at the beginning of this. Briana did not give me any of her upgrade. Briana is my tech guru, breaks everything down very simple for me in voice notes. I didn't get any of the upgrade pieces before this. Mild on research, but my P4 is Charles, and that is just fate that the universe will be kind to him this week.
I think there'll be a Ferrari on the podium this week. So
there'll be one, hopefully just missing the podium, and hopefully it's Charles, and hopefully I get points.
My biggest thing this week is that Baku is a rear limited circuit, so it's closer to Bahrain than it is to Australia. So I'm predicting that it's not going to be a great Mercedes weekend, and as long as Ferrari's engine doesn't explode, they should have a better weekend. And this year, the Baku race is much earlier in the year, so it's not going to be as hot, and tire degradation isn't going to be as bad, which is also why 17 laps for a sprint race is silly. So essentially, technically, the Ferrari power unit shouldn't both blow up on Grand Prix day because it's so hot and it's just having a rough time. So,
and you would have known all of this if you follow us on TikTok, because this is tech tidbits we've gotten about Baku before, or about Bahrain before.
Yep. Yeah, James Allison, which we haven't talked at all about the Mercedes shakeup, which is a whole thing. But James Allison on the F1 Nation podcast this week essentially said that Mercedes for right now is if it's a rear limited circuit, we don't think we'll do great. If it's a front limited circuit, we think we'll do pretty well. That's why we did well in Australia. That's why we didn't do well in Bahrain. And I'm like, great. I'm going to apply that tidbit to be the one guiding principle in my predictions this week because, again, it is Tuesday, as a reminder, when we're recording this. We've seen no on-track action. We really have no idea what the upgrades are, what they're going to look like. They just told us what the format was. For a while, we thought we were going to have to do these predictions without even knowing what the weekend format was going to be. So, sorry, that was my aside that you led me into. But who did you pick for P7? Who's the best of the rest, essentially?
I have Senor Lance Stroll in my P7.
Yeah, me too.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I was not anticipating that. I always get nervous every time we have like
Similar
team picks. It's like, then what's the point? But yeah.
What was it? Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, Saudi Arabia. We were just like, whoops. And we think it was like the Battle of the Alpines is basically what happened.
In P10. And we both ended the week with 0 points. Yeah, both picked Lance.
Okay.
Well, he had a rough race here last year.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to predict DNFs when I do this. So I don't really, normally I'll factor in something mentally. This is giving you too much information, but to the people listening, maybe Nicole could black this out of her brain. I'll like factor in like, I think a Ferrari is going to DNF or something like that. And then I'll just, I'll flip a coin, which one?
Which one it is.
Or
it's a weighted coin to Charles.
Yes. Which Charles fans, don't get mad at me. I really just want Ferrari to do well, but I do root for Carlos.
Right. But he would not be last in the points. And that is our pick for P10. Who is your P10?
Okay, I really struggled with this one. And I decided to go with what I wanted to root for and manifest. I want Alex back in the points. So I'm going Alex Albon P10. What about you?
That's so nice. And I don't want you to win, so I'm not going to say that I do want that to happen. I have Pierre in my P10. And I'm not necessarily rooting for it, but it felt safe. And I need to not lose.
I have my P8 and P9 as this tier of Lando and both the Alpines, and I just don't believe that all three of them will get to the finish line, and I wanted to root for Alex Albon in the points. So I think you have the better pick. I think
fair.
I just wanted to root for Alex.
Very fair. Hey, I've had Alex as my P10 last points pick, like, if at least once, if not twice this year already, and again, we're only at race 4. So,
yep. It's just such a good feeling story. All right. The last thing we pick here is basically the best of the bottom. So the bottom 5 teams that we had to pick from are Alpine, Haas, Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri, and Williams. And we need to pick who of those 5 teams will score the most points this week. So, Nicole, who of those teams did you choose to score the most points this week?
Alpine, let's go! And I do have, I mean, not that I wrote out all of my rankings, but if I do have Pierre in P10, that I want SD Bestie to beat him, even if it's P9. But I have Alpine.
I also have Alpine. It felt like the easy pick. They should not be P6 in the championship right now. Maybe Pierre should focus on not taking out his teammate. So, sprint. This is our first sprint weekend. Because sprint races are worth half the points, instead of every pick here being 2 or 3 points, like our normal points giving system, all these are worth 1 point as an additional bonus. We're going to pick 3 different things. The first one is what team is going to score the most points over the course of the sprint race. And I think neither of our selection here is shocking. And I
love points. I picked Red Bull.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Yeah.
So quickly moving on from that, we're also going to select who we think is P3 and going to be P8 in the sprint. So Nicole, who'd you pick for P3?
I picked Carlos.
I picked Charles.
This is where I had to silence my hope alarm, and I'm like, I'm gonna put Lewis, and I didn't. I did not.
I really wanted to, but I just don't think Mercedes is going to have a good weekend.
I don't. I literally I can just hear you saying, I'm worried about the straight. I'm worried about the straight. I'm worried about the straight. I don't know. So I figured I put Charles just missing podium in my first picks. So then I was like, all right, we'll give Carlos some love in the sprint picks.
Yeah, I just think that something good needs to happen to him. And I think that even though I'm pretty sure one of them won't make it to the end of the race, 17 laps is not a lot. They should be able to finish and be fast for the sprint. That's kind of my belief. Like, this car is not dreadfully slow, and it was pretty good in Bahrain. It was pretty solidly on quali pace, the second fastest car. But then it fell back because of tire degradation, and you know what's not going to matter during the sprint race? Tires. So, I honestly think one of us will get points there.
I hope so. And then the last that we're picking for our sprint race picks is P8, which is technically less in the points for the sprint race. Who do you have sitting comfortably at P8?
So I went full rooting interest here, and I went with Esteban Ocon.
I also put Esty Bestie for my P8.
Good. We can both just happily root for him to be in the points.
Right. I want him in the points so badly, and I want him in higher points than Pierre. So, best of no luck to you, except for the ones that we both have the same. Hi, thanks for listening, watching this segment from episode 14 of Grid Walk. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave, and you'll get a bunch of more F1 videos. But you've listened to this whole segment, so why don't you listen to the whole thing? Watch the rest of the pod. Come on, you can click right there. Ready? Click, click, click. Ready? You ready? Click, 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 click. What?